Расширение НАТО в сторону границ России.
Any movement by NATO toward Russian borders is not only an unfriendly act, but one which threatens Russia's security.
The expansion of NATO would have a price. The price would be creating a military union between Russia and Belarus, between Russia and Ukraine.
So you believe that if NATO moves toward Russia, the reaction, the consequence would be that Russia would recreate some kind of military union
Yes.
with Ukraine
And Belarus. Yes.
and that therefore once again we would have two military
Absolutely.
blocs facing each other.
Absolutely. So this is the question to your geopoliticians and
No, there's a
politicians.
question to you too. Is this a good development?
For me, not.
So you oppose the expansion of NATO to the
No,
east?
I oppose the expansion of Russia.
If NATO advances to Russia's borders with an outstretched fist and thus renounces previous agreements and resumes the policy of nuclear containment, then the end result will be an increase in arms production.
So you're saying that if NATO is moved eastward toward Russia, that the consequences will be dangerous.
Yes, the consequences of this may be war.
I want your politicians to acknowledge that the Volga River has never flowed into the Mississippi and never will. We stand for a friendly and good relationship with the United States. We understand its great role in the world. I would say that the United States also needs to have a good relationship with Russia. And today we are inundated with vulgar American culture, dirty films, and we are undergoing the process of Americanization. It will only lead to a negative reaction. There was little anti-American sentiment among the people even during the Cold War, but now it's popping up. I don't want it to happen. It's bad.
And I'm really thankful to American people for their support to Russian transformation, and I have a very high respect. But I would prefer if the people around the president would be more sensitive, more looking carefully what's going on in Russia, more open-minded, more looking different directions, feeling the country in general, not only one side.
No one can get us out of the hole which we dug for ourselves, except we ourselves. With all due respect to the United States and Germany, France, Great Britain, aid is helpful, but it has its limits. It's time for us to get to work, to become an industrial power, to create jobs, to use all our resources, to create the necessary conditions so that capital won't flow out of Russia, but into Russia.
Давайте посмотрим, вот Россию сегодня называют имперские замашки, имперские амбиции и все прочее, прочее.
Today it's said that Russia has ambitions to become an empire. Well, let's look at the United States. Why is citizenship rather than ethnicity the most important thing there? And why, under your constitution, do you prosecute people who try to destroy the unity of the country? You consider it normal? But if Russia wants to reestablish its former natural borders along the lines of the Soviet Union, it is called an empire.
I am sure that we will restore a new voluntary unified government, and we will take the first steps in that direction as soon as a more sensible leadership comes to the Kremlin.
A new union?
Yes, a new union.
You mean a Soviet Union?
Well, that decision will be made by the nations who decide to unite.
If you have children, will you have children?
Yeah.
You'll have children.
In a year or two.
In a year or two. Will they be Russians or Ukrainians?
Cocktail.
Don't know yet.
Some kind of cocktail.
Some kind of cocktail. What would you like for them to be?
You see,
Professionally or?
No, well, do you want them to be Russian? Do you want them to be Ukrainian or a cocktail?
You never know where it's going to be better, in Russia or in Ukraine. So we don't know yet.
Do you think Russia and Ukraine will come back together?
We hope so.
You hope so?
Yeah,
You hope
it's better
so?
for us.
Unlike in the West, where President Yeltsin's policies are usually equated with political and economic reform, Russians themselves are deeply divided over whether or not any progress has been made toward democracy or a real market economy. Is there democracy in Russia today?
Нет, ну что вы. Сейчас полное всевластие президентской вертикали,
of course
которые
not.
хотят закрепить.
The president and his circle have a strong hold on power and are trying to tighten their hold on it.
Это ширма.
All the rest is a screen behind which they hide in order to sell off state property and the country on the cheap.
Our government is a monopolistic group.
I thought they were democratic free market reformers.
They're saying so. But let us look carefully what they're doing. Is there any access for the normal people to the resources in Russia? Is there any access to the plain people from the street to the property? Is it possible for the Russian citizen to start his business without corruption and without linkage to the power, to the authorities? Is it possible in Russia to have competition? If you have no private property and you have no competition, it's a big question mark.
Вообще это видимость демократии.
What we have now is the appearance of democracy. For example, the Duma voted last year to stop the type of privatization going on, to analyze the situation and to correct the policy. When the Duma left for vacation, the president issued a decree continuing the same policy as before.
Ее нет.
There is nothing even slightly resembling democracy in Russia. The institutions of democracy and actual democracy are completely different things. Yes, we have the institutions. We have a parliament which decides absolutely nothing and which no one cares about, including the
Do
president.
the Russian people want a democratic system?
Look, Steve, this is a very complicated but interesting Russian question. The fact that we are given the possibility to the people to say what kind of a system they want means democracy itself.
Personally, I am convinced that neither I nor my children will live to see democracy.
Not even your children?
Not even my children, because Russia was and remains imperial in its mentality.
I think that for my generation of politicians, having a democratic mind is to say to the people, this is your business, what kind of a system you want. And our task is to open the door, to give the people possibility to answer what system they want.
Now we're supposed also to live in some kind of market society or whatever you call this, but that's not really market economy. It's just, well, I studied Marx and Engels and Lenin at school, and I know that what we used to have before as our state, it wasn't socialism, it was state-run capitalism. Just when state is the biggest capitalist of all. Well,
And today?
Today, well, we're also supposed to have some kind of transition period now, but transition to what? For God's sake, no one knows.
Funding for this program was provided by the Corporation for Public Broadcasting with additional funding from the Irene Diamond Fund.